Ja Morant has one foot in the grave and the other foot on the banana peel. This is going to be his last shot to prove to the world that he still belongs. We were waiting to anoint this young man. And when you talk about falling off, he has fell off. He has no other choice but to go and deliver.
Huge thanks to Price Picks for backing this video. For 4 years straight, the Portland Trail Blazers meant one thing: rebuild, lottery pick, the team you skip on League Pass. Not now. Damian Lillard is home. Ja Morant is a Blazer. Deni Avdija is an All-Star. Drew Holiday has 2 rings. Donovan Clingan led the league in offensive boards as just a sophomore. New coach, new owner. 3 former All-Stars closing games. Read that again. So here's the real question. Are the Blazers about to become the scariest non-contender out west, or the priciest fantasy this franchise has cooked up in 10 years? Because if this works, the tier right below OKC and San Antonio just shifted hard. But first, let's go back to the team everyone forgot. Rewind the clock. For 4 years, Portland was a footnote, the team you checked the schedule for then flipped past, a rebuild nobody kept track of, a roster patched together from lottery picks and expiring contracts, left out of every West Coast conversation. Then, last season flipped the script. Portland finished 42-40, their first playoff trip since 2021, their first real postseason since Lillard left. And it wasn't the top pick or a huge free agent driving it. It was a 25-year-old the Wizards let go, a guy nobody outside Rip City was watching, Deni Avdija. He put up 24.2 points, 6.9 boards, and 6.7 assists a night. First All-Star nod, top 15 scorer in the whole league. He turned into one of the league's best all-around playmakers, nearly averaging 24-7-7 for the year. He didn't just make the All-Star team, he became one of the game's top downhill drivers. He led the team in points and assists. He ran the whole offense. He carried loads that took other teams 3 players to match. And all of that for just $25 million over 2 years, one of the best bargains anywhere in basketball. But every good story hits a wall. Portland's wall showed up in April when Wembanyama and the Spurs sent them home in 5 games in round 1. It wasn't even close. This young, fun Blazers team got exposed for what it really was: one great creator and not nearly enough firepower to scare anyone in the playoffs. The pieces around Avdija were solid. Toumani Camara brought real defense. Clingan gave them size. Holiday brought veteran steadiness. But none of them were a true second option. None of them broke defenses down like Avdija could. And once the shots stopped falling in April, there was no backup plan. Portland saw it happen. The front office saw it too. So this offseason, Portland didn't just tinker. They didn't add a bench piece. They pulled off one of the loudest summers in the league. Start with the trade. Just recently, Portland sent Jerami Grant and Chris Murray to Memphis. In return, they got Ja Morant plus $1 million in cash. That's the whole trade. No first-round picks, no future swaps, no protected seconds, no young star heading back the other way. Read that list again, slowly.
This is the kind of return that used to require 3 first-rounders, a young all-star, and a salary filler.
At his best, Ja Morant would have cost a package that reshaped half a roster. Portland got him for cheap. A 2-time All-Star, a former Rookie of the Year, a former Most Improved Player, and all that cost was a pricey 32-year-old forward and 1 unproven wing. But here's the catch. Morant has only played 79 games total over the last 3 seasons combined. 79. Off-court trouble, a suspension that wiped out most of a season, a shoulder injury, an elbow injury. And in the 20 games he did play last year, his three-point shooting crashed to 23.5%, the worst of his career by far. His signature game fell apart. Portland saw the discount and jumped on it. And this wasn't a one-move summer. It was a full-on statement. Then came the front court move. Robert Williams III re-signed for 3 years to anchor the bench unit. Now picture one closing lineup Portland could actually roll out. 3 former All-Stars, an all-defensive level wing, a sophomore center who's already a top rim protector. That's not a young team still figuring it out. That's a team built to win in May. But every story like this casts a shadow. And with this Portland team, the shadow is real. Let's talk about the big problem. Ja Morant has played just 79 games over the last 3 years combined. 79, spread across a quarter of his whole career. That's less than one full, healthy season. Suspensions, a shoulder, an elbow, a hip. He hasn't looked like his all-NBA self since 2022-23. And playing time isn't even the whole issue. In the 20 games he did play last season, Morant shot 41% from the field and a career-worst 23.5% from three. The real question is whether his old burst and lift ever come all the way back. Then there's the fit. Morant has never been a strong defender. Not in college, not in the pros. Lillard's never been one either. Pairing them in the same backcourt might build the worst defensive backcourt in the league. Every playoff team will hunt them in pick and rolls. Every series will open the same way. Then the shooting. Portland finished last season 28th in the league in three-point shooting at 34.3%. And they just traded away their best returning shooter, Jerami Grant, who hit 38.9% from deep, for a guy who shot 23.5%. On paper, that math just doesn't add up. Then the age. Lillard is 36, coming off a torn Achilles. Drew Holiday is 36. This roster's window is not wide open for long. And then the money. Portland already has roughly $192 million committed for next season. They're not hard-capped at the first apron, but this roster is expensive with little room to fix problems mid-year. That's the real case against this team. But here's what most takes are missing. Morant doesn't need to be the engine anymore. He just needs to be the second creator. Denny Avdija runs the show. Lillard brings the exact three-point shooting this team was missing last year. Morant walks in as the best passer on the roster. With the pressure off, the bar isn't all NBA Ja anymore. The bar is just healthy Ja. On defense, if any team in the league can hide a weak point of attack defender, it's this one. Kamara is one of the best perimeter stoppers around. Klingon is already a top young rim protector. Holiday is still elite on the ball at 36. There's length and switchability all over this roster. And Morant is only 26, just a year older than Avdija. His age actually lines up with Avdija's timeline better than this veteran-heavy roster might suggest. Now zoom out. The West right now is OKC and San Antonio on top, then a total brawl underneath. Without this summer, Portland was an 8th-place team running back the same group that got exposed in 5 games. With this summer, the ceiling completely resets. They become the team nobody wants to face in round 1, the matchup every contender circles in October. So where does that leave Portland, and what does it mean for the rest of the league? For 4 years, the Portland Trail Blazers were an afterthought. Last season, they became a real playoff story. This summer, they became something else entirely. An all-star engine, a former all-star point guard, a 9-time all-star coming home, a 2-time champion locking down the point of attack, a breakout young center, an elite defensive wing, a first-year coach with a clear plan. This isn't a team hoping to sneak into the play-in. This is a team built to break straight through it. Portland didn't just get better. They became exactly what the rest of the West was hoping they wouldn't. Rip City isn't coming back. They're already here. If you enjoyed the breakdown, hit like and subscribe, and check the videos on screen for more.
watching Minnesota grow from lottery team to conference finalist from the inside. Now stop. Combined, 79 across 3 years. That's less than one full healthy season spread over a quarter of his entire NBA career. Problem. In the 20 games he actually played last season, Morant shot 41% from the field and a career worst 23.5% from three. The bigger question is whether the burst and vertical athleticism that made him one of the most electric guards we'd ever seen can fully return. Then there's the fit. Morant has never been a plus defender. Not in college, not in the pros. Lillard has never been a plus defender either. Putting them in the same starting backcourt right now might create the worst defensive starting backcourt in the entire league. Every playoff opponent is going to hunt them in pick and rolls. Every series is going to start the same way. Then the spacing. Portland finished last season 28th in the NBA in three-point percentage at 34.3%. They just traded away their best returning shooter, Jeremy Grant, who hit 38.9% from three last season, for a player who shot 23.5%. On paper, the math doesn't work. Then there's the age. Lillard is 36, coming off a torn Achilles. Holiday is 36, this roster's contending window is not a wide one. And then the cap. Portland already has roughly $192 million committed for next season. They aren't hard capped at the first apron, but this is still an expensive roster with limited flexibility to fix problems mid-season. That's the case against this team, and it's a real one. But here's what most of the first take takes are missing. Morant doesn't have to be the engine anymore. He just has to be the second creator. Avdija is the engine. Lillard adds the exact three-point spacing this roster was screaming for last season. Morant walks in as the best passer on the entire team, with the pressure off. The bar isn't all NBA Ja. The bar is healthy Ja. On defense, if there's a team in the entire NBA built to hide a weak point of attack defender, it's this one. Toumani Camara is one of the best perimeter stoppers in the league. Donovan Clingan is already a top-tier young rim protector. Jrue Holiday is still elite at the point of attack at age 36. There's defensive length and switchability at almost every position on the roster. And Morant is 26 years old. He's only 1 year older than Deni Avdija. His age lines up with Avdija's timeline far better than the veteran-heavy roster around them might suggest. Now zoom out. The Western Conference right now is Oklahoma City and San Antonio at the top, then a brawl underneath. Without this summer, Portland was an 8th place regular season team, running back the same formula that got them exposed in 5 games by Wembanyama. With this summer, the ceiling resets entirely. They become the team nobody wants to draw in. Round 1. They become the matchup every contender circles on the calendar in October. So where does that actually leave Portland? And what does it mean for the rest of the league? For 4 straight seasons, the Portland Trail Blazers were an afterthought. Last season, they became a legitimate playoff story. This summer, they became something else entirely. An all-star engine, a former all-star point guard, a 9-time all-star coming home, a 2-time champion at point of attack, a breakout young center, an elite all-defensive wing, a first-year head coach with a clear vision. This isn't a roster hoping to sneak into the play-in. This is a roster built to break through it. The Trailblazers didn't just get better. They became exactly what the rest of the West was hoping they wouldn't. Rip City isn't coming back. They're already here. If you enjoyed the breakdown, hit like and subscribe, and check the videos on screen for more.